Morning all. We're going to do a bit of an October-November, we just had a debate about this, October-November catch-up. I've not been very good at keeping up with these, so apologies Amy, because she does ask me to bring my stuff in and then I forget. So I have actually been home this morning to pick these up. Now, are you ready for this? You'll love my beautiful knitting bags as well. Honestly, you really should think, oh, are you ready? That's October-November. So, we're going to run through these. Some bags are obviously a lot prettier than others. Apologies. Stephen did look and said, I really should have nicer knitting bags than this. And I probably should, but practical more than anything, to be honest. So, first thing I've been doing... Now, I showed you these ages ago. This is sort of my go-to easy project when I don't really want to have to think, which happens quite a lot. And it's made in Shapier's Merino Soft, some of the colours, and then a reel, I think I showed you this before, a real rag bag, I know, sorry about this, oh, got jeepers, that's not good, is it? Pair of scissors go through. Assortment of merino bits I've got left over from a couple of different blankets, and different projects that I've done, and I've had this bag of bits for years. So, my idea is that I am doing these large granny squares. They are going to become a huge granny square blanket for Scarlett's bedroom, because we are just in the process of turning her bedroom from a little girl's bedroom into a teenager's bedroom, which is a bit scary. So everything's sort of pale grey with some splashes of colour. So I'd say I started these ages ago and just thought they would be really, really pretty for her bedroom. And last night I ended up sewing ends in. Not all the ends, as you can see, but quite a lot. I tend to leave all my ends to the end. But last night I sat down, Matt had gone out, kids were upstairs, both revising because we've got tests this week, and I had a couple of hours. And I didn't have my pattern for my Nature's Walk. I didn't have a knitting needle for a knitted blanket that I'm doing. And I didn't really feel like doing my Rosetta for no reason. I just wasn't in the mood to do that project. So I ended up sewing ends in on this because it was about all that I could actually have the stuff to do. But I'm using the Merino Soft in this as an addition to make up some sort of main colours. And it's a really, really lovely yarn. It's so springy. I do love a merino. And there's one of either Jasper or Poppy's hair. I do tend to bring half the dogs to work with me when I bring in knitting and crochet. Unfortunately, not the nice half. So that was one. Oh, now this is Nature's Walk, which is actually, as of today, the border has been released. I'm nowhere up to doing the border yet. These are all my squares. I have absolutely loved doing this. The stone washed. I've crocheted with it before. If you haven't, it is really, really, really beautiful to use. These were the squares that I did on Sunday night. So I did the flower. This is my trusty file, which is supposed to have all the patterns in. Unless, like I say, last night I got there and didn't have a pattern to make it. No, that was blossom, not flower, blossom. I get confused. I still have, I've got it written down somewhere, I've still got North Star, Snowflake, Flower and Clover to make, so 4, so 16 squares, which I'm hoping to get done this week and get joining. I am a little bit behind the curve, but it is, I love, oh, I'll show you these as well. These are stunning. Kahana snips. I'm hoping I'm getting the right shot there. Amy will nod at me in a minute if I'm not. These are a real treat. We sell the Kahana products. They are beautiful. They are made in Hiroshima. The engineering and the way these are made are absolutely stunning. And if you can see these were a little treat to myself. They are not cheap. I'm not going to say they are. Look at the little leather pouch that they come in. And they just snip so good. And they look beautiful on photographs. Not that I've yet got round to putting them on any of my photos. So, favourite square. Difficult one to give you a favourite square. I'm not totally sure. Do you know what? I actually think I really like the wheat. I love the puff stitches on the wheat. Aren't those pretty? So that was Nature's Walk. So that's also been keeping me busy. I've still got all that yarn left to crochet up though. Then, now this is something that I started playing with the other week. And I have brought it in, and there's some more squares from that one, and showed it to work, but I've then decided to change it a bit, which is this. You might remember that I started not finished, obviously, it's me, a mitered square blanket in Shapier's Metropolis. which is just a beautiful, beautiful design because you'll have to sew the ends in, but you knit each square and then you attach the squares on. And I had it in my head that I want to do a knitted chunky one, and I want the colours to go from darks to lights, maybe through blues and purples. I do like that sort of palette. So I started this one, I liked it, but then we'll probably do it as a kit, so then it's that balance between making the blanket big enough but not making it too cost prohibitive. So I have decided to start again. Sorry, really, so everything's covered in dog hairs. I'm so sorry, it seems to be the theme of these. Look, pesky dogs. So I've actually decided to try, I can get a little bit bigger squares out. I can get 2 squares out of each ball, even if I make them a little bit bigger. So I've put this to one side and actually started it again. So you can see the squares are ever so slightly bigger, which when multiplied up should make the blanket just that bit wider. This is in Shapier's Chunky Monkey. It's the first time I've used it. It's really, really, really lovely. I will say, however, that I have been winding the balls before I start using them. Because they do tend to explode a little bit while you're using them, but I find it quite therapeutic, ball winding. So that is something else that's been keeping me busy. And then we have finally the Rosetta. Now this is not perfect, this is a bit bumpy. But and again, it is absolutely covered in puppy hair because she sat on me. I don't know what I've done weeks 1 and weeks 2. Wasn't really in the mood to get on with week 3 last night, and I actually think I'm going to block it before I go on to week 3 because it is now becoming quite bumpy. But I'm quite confident that is, in fact, it's very bumpy when you look at it like that, that it's going to block out quite well. So that, do you know what? I probably should do that tonight before I start on it. I think I'm going to be able to block it to the right size. This is a lovely, lovely pattern. It's so simple as well because you're just changing colours all the time at the moment on this centre bit, which is quite nice. And I am remembering now every stitch to weave my ends through. So I'm about to add a new colour in. What's that? Well, that's a ball of Rico Chunky. That's for wrist warmers for the girls. I wonder why I've got that in there. So yeah, I'm just about to change on to week 3, which is rounds 27 to 35. So I'll possibly start that. I'm saying that now. I'm going to do Nature's Walk tonight. That'll probably be my weekend project. I quite like this on a Sunday afternoon because it's quite easy. So that's me. That's what's been keeping me busy.